All right. Hey, good evening. Good evening, everybody. We are here. We are local and we are live right here on the Philly Live Show on Philly Funk Radio and Philly Funk TV. And yes, we are here and we are live. And it is a beautiful, what is today? Tuesday. Wait, Monday. It is a Monday. You know what? I'm not sure if Van told you, but I went to Austin, Texas last week and just got back in at 2 o'clock this morning. So my brain's a little fried, so you got to excuse me. So anyway, we are here and we're joined, as always, by our co-host, Mr. Van Stone. I'm going to throw it to you, and somebody else is trying to get in, and I got to admit, so go ahead. And
that's Muti. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Hopefully, everybody mics are open and you are comfortable somewhere. We normally don't start the show saying that things like that. We're in the queue, but for the first time, it's okay. I'm Van Stone, the face behind the voice. And of course, I've been saying that forever because of live radio, where most of our audience didn't get a chance to see what I look like. And so that's my little thing. Hopefully, some of our stars who are with us have their own little segment, and this is what we do. So this is Philly Live, and of course, we're with my co-host, Jerry Wilson, and also the co-host, Wanda Walker. And we're going to bring in for the first time, just a little bit after I make my announcements, Muti. As you can see, he's on the screen as well for the first time to a show. So this is California Live as well. We give our shout outs to everyone, all of our listeners by state or, local. Of course, this is for our Black Philadelphians. And I tell you, I am just really glad that we're going into a new year. And so far, so good. I hope that all of our viewers, our numbers are up. We're over 100-something thousand. We have several radio station websites, and they're actually growing. We have some exciting things going on. We're going to have brand new shows. And, I'm just really proud when in a short period of time, some great things can happen just like that. And that's what we really need, especially in Philadelphia. So, with that in mind, we have probably maybe a little bit of just a tad bit of news that has happened today in Philly. Just a tad bit, right? A tad bit. But we're not going to go to that first. What we're going to do is we're going to feature today, since we have Muti here with us, we are going to introduce everyone who's familiar with Power WVSR and Philly Funk Radio, the one and only Muti, and we're going to have you really give us your full introduction, your name. We're just going to have our thing for short, but we're really glad that you're going to be a part of this program. So with that in mind, Jerry, let me go straight to Muti just for the sake of this special segment today. So, General, hi,
Yes, sir.
how are you?
I'm wise and civilized. I'm trying to get from point A to point B quickly and quietly as possible.
All right, why don't you give us your brief introduction of who you are? That is good. And we're going to do, a round table of interviews of you today because this is your first show with our audience.
Okay. First and foremost, I'm from the great state of North Philadelphia, city of Richard Allen. I am the youngest son of Mamie Francis, John Stockton, Riley, Ivy. And I am someone who has took a journey. And in that journey, I have basically went to the depths of hell and back. And I'm here to tell a story and keep a lot of our babies from being snared by the traps that are designed for them to go to that place called hell. And oftentimes we never see them again. They disappear and they're gone forever. And they deplete our community. And so I'm here to tell that story, or one version of that story, because there are many layers to that story.
Okay, Muti, let me help you along, because what we really need to do is we need to get your full name so that people can really understand how do you say your full name? And we really need your legal name. And because your story is so amazing that when people begin to support based on this station, they're going to be interested in looking up your story in many ways. So I'm giving them a hint, but I want you to really give them a chance to explain, what am I talking about? What is your full name and why is that so important?
Well, my legal name is Muti Ajimu Osaberu. That's my full name. My full name is Muti Adisa Ajimu Osaberu. Um, my name is descriptive of my life's mission and why I'm here. Um, we have a tendency, our people, and when I say we, I'm talking about African people, not just in Philadelphia, not just in Pennsylvania, not just in America, but all over the world. Africans in the diaspora have a tendency to not understand the gifts that we have, and part of the gifts, or one of the many gifts that we have, is our name. Those of us who understand the power of a name, and
Okay, but
some
what happened to you as a teenager?
oh,
What,
as a child,
as
I
a
was
teenager?
no a child, not teenager. I was a child.
Okay, tell
Because
us what happened.
um, I was tried and convicted and prosecuted as a child, and
Okay,
convicted for a crime that I didn't commit, homicide, robbery. Um, and it took me 42 years plus, and actually vindicate myself of that imprisonment and that conviction.
okay. And where did this happen? What city?
Happened in the city of Philadelphia. Happened in North Philly, to be exact, the great state of North Philadelphia.
Okay. Did you stay in just one incarceration location, or how did that work over all those years?
Oh no, they kept moving me around. When you're in prison in Pennsylvania at least, and you engage in revolutionary human rights revolutionaryism, or freedom fighting, they punish you. They retaliate against you, and so they'll move you to the next neo-Nazi concentration camp, the next death camp. They'll as a means to punish you, and as a means to punish your family. So they move you further and further away from where you were arrested, wherever the county you come from. They'll move you further away from that to put a burden on your family, a financial burden, an emotional burden, a spiritual burden, economic burden, anything that you can think that creates a burden. They do that by moving folks further and further away from where they were arrested and convicted. And so for me, that odyssey started at the Youth Study Center as a child,
Okay.
and I spent approximately 3 months at the Youth Study Center, and then I was shipped out from that child prison to an adult prison at Holmesburg Prison, and
Okay.
I spent approximately 2 years there, where I went to court, was tried and convicted, kangaroo court at that. And then I was shipped off to Ford Prison, which is the fourth largest prison, which was the fourth largest prison in the United States.
Okay, but Muchi, let me pause you there. You said something very significant, and then I'm going to throw it over to Wanda because she may have some also questions in the interview. You say the conviction. What was the conviction?
I was
Was
convicted. I was convicted of second degree murder, of being in conspiracy, or their specific role for me was quote unquote as a lookout, and to a second degree homicide, which
and
was
your sentence was
death by imprisonment.
all right.
That
That's
is that is I was sentenced to die in prison.
correct. That is what we wanted all our audience and viewers to know. Because for the first time, this is going to be something that many of us are going to want to hear again and again and again. So with that in mind, I'm going to throw it to you, Wanda. Do you have any thoughts on what this topic is?
Oh, I do. Muti is telling you a life story that just breaks my heart because so many of our young men fall into these traps of enslavement. That's all it is, modern day slavery, slavery for hire. They get 16 cents a day and 25 cents, 16 cents an hour and things like that. That's worse than slavery and even picking cotton. And they're doing it in modern day, and we're not saying or doing too much about it. We have to teach our young people ahead of time, to be careful because the traps are there. There's no way in the world as a teenager, he should have been tried and convicted in such a way that made him spend 42 years of his life in prison and then to come out and be found not guilty because the evidence, he was someone that was lucky enough to get a second chance to have his case looked at, and they found by using the evidence, what do you call it? The evidence that was there that he was not guilty for what they charged him for, and he still has not had his information or his identity and everything made whole again, and he's still fighting. And I just commend him being able to spend 42 years of his life. And I think what really kept him going is the fact that he was helping so many other people while he was in prison. And I think he's called sort of like a jailhouse lawyer because he educated himself. He didn't waste time. And now he's out. And he helps people all the time, every day. He goes to meetings whenever possible. He puts people, politicians and corrupt people on the spot. I do it, and we do it with ease. If he calls me up and says, hey, there's a meeting such and such place, if I can make it, I'm there. But he wakes up every morning with this type of passion to give back and to keep fighting, because this is the only way we're going to win. When they do things like this to imprison us. It's really, really sad. I cannot imagine having the positive attitude that he has if someone took from me 42 years of my life, even 20 years, even 5 years, and literally I'm found not guilty, and you're not even trying to hurry up the process to make me whole. You can't get that back.
Right.
So
Okay.
I don't know. I hope and pray I'm never in that situation, but I think I know me well enough to know if I got out, I wouldn't be as nice as he is.
Right. Well,
I would be looking for justice and answers. His justice comes differently, and that's a beautiful thing.
Okay.
It really is to see him in action.
All right. So, Jerry, I want to throw it to you. You have any thoughts on this matter? We're talking about Muti.
Well, I will say this. Fortunately for me, my experience wasn't as bad as his, but I had a situation before where I was involved in the criminal justice system briefly, and fortunately, it did work out. And, just the thought of how many people are sitting in jails and prisons right now that didn't really commit the crime that they were convicted of solely because of the simple fact that they were either too young, minority, or, they couldn't afford a lawyer or what. And, it's really sad. It really is. A lot of people do need to be there, but I think we do also need to think about the people who shouldn't be there, and where the criminal justice system will just lock people up, like, without even really giving them a chance, especially youth. I have a real problem with them locking up young people. And in some cases, like in yours, Muti, where they want to lock you up and throw away the key at a very young age and don't even give you a chance to live.
Wow, what I like about this panel is that everyone is pretty smooth on saying Muti's name except for me. And
I did butcher his name when I did the commercial.
Oh, okay.
I did. I'm sorry, and I apologize, Muti. I apologize. I didn't know how to pronounce your name.
Will you make up your mind?
Well, listen. If it's time to go to a break, we're going to take a break. What do you think, Jerry, before we continue?
I think we should do that.
All
and
right.
We will be right back.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost and lonely. I had snapped, I had a gun and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still life to live. For the better of myself, my family, my weapon is now safely put away.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me in ways that I never knew that I could be broken. And I contemplated suicide. Afterwards, we found out his girlfriend, she was pregnant. If that was my grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone.
Store your gun securely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo.
All right, and we are back right here on the Philly Live Show. We got about 15 more minutes, and then we're going to be out. So, as always, I'm just going to throw it right back to Van.
Well, thank you. So again, welcome everyone. Just in case you joined the show, I'm Van Stone, the face behind the voice, and you are viewing, listening, and of course, enjoying Philly Live, California Live as well. So we want to give a shout out to all our California affiliates. We're talking about Hard Rock Skip Hamilton, for an example, out in California, part of our process, former Philadelphia Eagle, and I'm sure that he is watching what's actually happening when it comes to the NFL right now. Hopefully, the Birds will go all the way. With that in mind, of course, we're with my partner, Jerry Wilson, and of course, Wanda Walker, the one and only. Big time Philadelphia and Wanda Walker. We're going to really talk a little bit more about what's happening around the city with Wanda Walker. And looking forward to a brand new show Wanda Walker will have with us here on Power WBSR, also Philly Funk Radio. And with that in mind, we just want to remind all our viewers, we also have the Philadelphia Front Page News, which is a magazine combination. It is a blogger radio station. And with that in mind, we're really going to just enjoy at times music and talk and other things that's happening here in Philly. Also, we're bringing in Muti, okay, the one and only Muti, and we're going to really bring back just a little bit more if we can. Talk to you, Muti, a little more because I really want people to understand why I'm so excited here and why you're going to be so important dealing with this information. So you're a sportscaster as well. You're not just a journalist dealing with writing, but you're also dealing with sports. Can you tell us a little bit about your uniqueness and how you're going to help the station? Because we have one person that beat you to the punch. That's Tyler McCann, and he's our new special sportscaster. He did 2 shows, was really well, that went so super well with us, and he does his segment online as well about the sports. So we got to get you 2 guys together. So Muti, tell us a little bit about how you going to help us with the sports forecast or the sportscast.
Before I answer that question, Van, I want to back up a little bit just in terms of the factual basis, factual accuracy. I wasn't found not guilty by a court in the judge. I was exonerated in the parole board, the parole process. And how that works is, first and foremost, what the parole board does historically or policy-wise, if you go before them saying that you're innocent, they're not going to let you out. Bottom line. And they'll make a million excuses why. If you say that you're innocent, they'll say that you're minimizing the crime, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They've been doing it for years. That's one of the ways that they keep our folks in. Now, the reason why I haven't been yet exonerated in the courts, because that's going to happen, is that the district attorney, Larry Krasner, kicked my case down the road. I love Larry Krasner, the work that he's doing, putting my case to the side because he hasn't done the right thing in my case. But the big picture, he's been good for our city. He's been good for the state of Pennsylvania, and he's been good for the nation. However, he kicked my case down the road because the ramifications, the implications of my case threatens to tear down the entire structure that we can count at least a 50-year history of raw, unapologetic white supremacy and false convictions.
Right. And let me say this. Let me pause you on this, Muji, because guess what? You are with us. You are a part of this program. And it's no way that we're going to let you just try to tell all of this at one point. So all our listeners and viewers are going to be hungry. So don't worry about it. We really appreciate who you are. You're with us. All our viewers are going to really build up. And each week, when you come on this piece here, this is just a Philly Live show. This is for our team mainly. But we're going to set you up with your own show as well. And then you're going to have time to really dissect and give more information. So right now, it was just an introduction.
All right,
Tell
real
us
quick.
about the sportscaster in you. That's
Well, I think as you and I have
and the game last night.
The game I didn't watch after full disclosure. But now that I'm back in the saddle, I'm going to dig into most of the games. I'm going to watch them all now, simply because I want to bring my unique perspective to it, and factually and evidentially I want to be correct. I don't root for teams. I root for individuals. And the reason why I root for individuals and not teams is because the individuals that I root for are people that's riding for our community. And if they're not riding for our community, I don't root for them. Now, if the team owners ride for our community, then I'll root for the team. As a child, I spoke as a child, thought as a child, thunk as a child, but as an adult, I put away all childish things.
All right.
But in terms of the reportage for sports, I'm just super excited because I think I bring a unique perspective to sports. I think it's not just unique, but it's real, and it's unexplored. The positions and the insights that I want to bring to sports, because sports is a beautiful thing. It can help a lot of people, particularly our children, and it can make our folks rich as well. Because we there's nothing wrong with getting paid. There's nothing wrong with becoming rich, and there's nothing wrong with generational wealth. And sports has the potential to bring those things. So I'm excited for the opportunity. I'm excited with our partnership, and I definitely look forward to bringing my analysis to sports from top to bottom, from A to Z. And I look forward to where we're going to go with this, and the discussions that we're going to create and expand on.
Sounds good, because we have the Philadelphia Front Page News. We're going to look forward to your piece, where you're going to have your section of sports, and you're going to also have your column as a writer, journalistic information. We look forward to that. And also you're doing video as well. So you're going to do video news too. And we're a daily newspaper and magazine. So we hope that we're going to get something from you every day in either of the categories. Great. Jerry, I want to throw it to you. Any thoughts you have, Jerry?
Well, our time is running out very quickly. I think we only have about 8 minutes left. So
that's a lot of time.
I did actually just want to get, speaking of sports, your opinion about the Sixers abandoning their plan to move to Chinatown, and now get this brand new stadium over in
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So, since you want to talk about it, we're gonna go straight to Muti. What do you think?
Okay, wait. Time out. Before I was kind of saving that for Wanda.
Okay, so, go ahead. Go ahead, Wanda. Tear it up.
What's your thoughts first, and then we'll go to Muti.
Well, first of all, I'm doing a FAFO, laughing out loud.
Yeah.
And to all the people that kept saying it's a done deal, it's nothing we can do about it. We can do something about it. And what we have going on right now, because Muti texted me this morning on my way to work, or maybe even last night, about this stadium situation. And Muti, what did I say? Now we know who we can trust and who we have to get rid of. Because this right here like I said, God always has the last say so. And I had never accepted that stadium being downtown for many reasons. The fact that there's no way in the world they can fulfill the promises that they keep promising the black community, because if you can't do it on the job site where you're building a 4 unit or a 10 unit or a 20 unit, how are you going to do it for a stadium? You can't find one black man on any of these jobs. Dr. Chinchilla and I, we interviewed 4 locations where they were building apartment units or affordable housing. We couldn't find one black man, one black anything, but I'm looking for black men specifically. I'm not exaggerating. I posted this on Facebook. I went to other sites in Germantown, another 4 sites, and even posted the pictures. And everybody commenting said the same thing. You're right. You will find a minority that they brought across maybe the border with the H1 B visa and all this other stuff, but they keep promising us jobs and participation, and it doesn't happen. I've talked to a union person when they heard me speak at City Hall, and I told them, I said, hey, this is what's going on. Well, I said, the schools closed down. They didn't put the trades back in, but what are you all doing as union people? You have a black man ahead of the union, and the union is only 16% black. A union, if it's a union town, is supposed to represent the population of the city. Black people are 38 to 42% of the population. So you all are only at 1/3 of what you should be, so you're failing miserably. Meanwhile, we're reading an article where Ryan Boyer is getting $150,000 to rah-rah for the stadium and 90,000 in stock option. No, I'm sorry, 60,000, I think it was, and then 90 in stock options just to be on board for this stadium. Meanwhile, no one's doing anything to make sure they train our young people coming out of high school or young people so that they will be on these jobs in the numbers that they're supposed to be on the job. Anything over $5 million is supposed to have 30% black participation.
All right,
Okay,
we
Wanda, so let me
have
throw it
6
to
minutes left.
Moochie for a second, because we're coming down
Listen,
the time.
that was the alley-oop. That was the alley-oop. Listen, don't give Wanda no subject like that. She gonna tear it down.
Oh, that's good.
I have more.
Go ahead. You go ahead. What do you have to say?
Nevertheless, I am elated because what happened was people power leaned on the billionaires. See, they won't tell you that they came to the realization that, damn, if we do this deal,
ain't nobody coming down there.
It's gonna be misery. It's gonna be misery because the people don't want it. But at the same time, what they did was they let these fake politicians know that economically you are impotent. We can do what we want with you. We got you on our pinky fingers like a ring, and we can play with you the way we want to. And now we coming for those politicians.
Yep.
We're gonna knock off as many of them as we can from the mayor on down, because they all supported it. They let you know, Negroes and Negresses, you mean nothing.
Just real quick. Van.
Okay. So let me pause, Jerry. Go, Jerry.
I do have one last question. Do you think, briefly, 20 seconds, do you think this is going to cost Sherelle Parker dearly for supporting this?
Absolutely. There's only one way she can get out of it.
And that's by committing suicide.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No.
We're not going to say that. We're not going to say that.
She's done.
She literally.
Okay,
let's clarify this. Let's clarify this. She basically committed political
suicide. She's a one-term mayor because of this. One term. And there's only one way to get out of it.
Wow. All right.
Okay, Jerry, what's your thoughts before we go?
My thoughts is she's going to pay dearly. Like he said, this is basically her political suicide. So either she got played like a piano or
sure did.
Or she knew this all the time and played the citizens of Philadelphia. So either way, it's not good.
So how much time do we have left, guys?
So we literally got like 3 minutes left. So I want to get 30 seconds or less. Final thoughts. Remember, 30 seconds or less.
Okay. All right. So let's go with Wanda, you're going to go first. 30 seconds. Final thoughts for the today's show. 30 seconds.
30 seconds. These are billionaires that decided once Comcast got on board that they could offer something that was better in South Philly. Now they get to build it bigger, better, without the congestion, without the confusion, because it was like our city officials signing a blank check and then letting them fill in the amount. There were so many unanswered parts to this. There's no reason why they should have said yes in 2024 when the contract isn't even up until 2029.
All right, Muti.
Sherelle Parker is a one-time mayor.
Okay, Muti.
Go, Muti. 30
One
seconds.
one of the council people said that they shouldn't have trusted the process. No, they should have trusted the people. And they trusted the billionaires, and they got egg all over their proverbial face, and many of them are going to lose their political lives.
All right. So, of course, it's my time, guys. 30 seconds or less. We want to welcome the one and only Philadelphian, starting at 17 years old, Muti. 17, same age as my son, is now wrongfully incarcerated, and miraculously, he's out right now on parole. So we're still going to help with his case. That's another thing. Of course, this is what we do. Everybody knows, if you know anything about Van Stone, you can look up. This is the type of case that I handle, and we're going to bring our full team in. This is some surprises I'm just giving to Muti because we haven't even discussed further. There's so many things that we can do. So with that in mind, I want all of us to enjoy the day, stick with our program and at Philly Funk Radio. Tune in, phillyfunkradio.com, listen to the music, and we're going to be back for the next Philly Live show.
Gotcha. My only comment is thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm going to go get some sleep, and I will see you guys on the next show. All right, everybody. All right. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.
All right.
All right.
Hold up after Uhuru Nikasi. Freedom is work.